review the entire performance of the major event, and I'll give everyone a kind of rating. I've sorted them out to champions, so obviously we're going to put Falcons up there first, and then there will be future contenders, teams having a great event, teams having a poor event, and teams which require some evaluation on whether or not they would still be in the major come Singapore. So number one, champions Falcons. Obviously, nothing needs to be said about them. They did very, very good. And yeah, I think they'll stick with it. First future contender I'm going to put up there would be Team Spirit. I think this particular event, Team Spirit was playing with their hands tied behind their back because, you know, their coach just couldn't be there. And it was really unfortunate. They showed a lot of firepower. Watching them play their games without proper timeout to mentally reset themselves was like watching a very, very high level 10 face it pug, 5 friends against 5 other people. It was like scrimming, but then the coach was just not there, and I think that's what they were missing this event. Next team would be Vitality. I think they were rather burnt out leading up to this event. They lost the Atlanta event, and I think, you know, all they need is just a good mental reset, and they'll be back. They'll be back as contenders for a major again. Can't count them out. Third one, I would put Mongols. Sounds very strange, but then after watching the Senzu podcast interview on his exit from Mongols and kind of understanding where Mongols was at leading up to this event, I think with a little bit of practice, effort, they'll find their X factor again and they should be contending again. For my next contender, I'll put Big Clan. Big Clan really exceeded all of my expectations, although they didn't make it past stage 2, but being there in the first place really exceeded all my expectations. I think they played really well. If they work hard on it a little bit, they will be proper contenders to be in the playoffs for the next major. It's just a little bit of hard work, and I believe they can do it. Similar to Big Clan, I would put Gamer Legion up there. I think they also play very, very well. I think they need a little bit more time with Snacks, and they will be back in tier 1 and possibly in the next playoffs of the major as well. Gamer Legion has been there before as a team, although it's an entirely different lineup, but I think they can do it. And then my last contender, I would put Furia. Furia had a very good run. Some people say yes, they went through the Mickey Mouse bracket, but then they still had a very good run. They played well all the way till the finals. They just weren't on Falcons level in that finals, but they did have a very deep run. They also had a very good run last season, and I think being Fallen's final season with the team, they will fight all the way. They'll live game the entire way through to try and be in the contest for winning the major again in Singapore. Now, my next group of teams is categorized teams who had a great event. They might not necessarily be future contenders, but you know, they were just teams that really entertained me, and I think they will have a great next season. Whether or not they might end up being in the next major, I do not know, but these are just teams that I really liked. So, number 1, 9Z. I think this is South America's New Hope. They played amazing, they were great to watch, and they really pushed a lot of big teams to their limit. I think they will be in the next major, and I hope that they can make it to playoffs again. Next team will be Foot. They also had a very great major. It was unfortunate they didn't get to go to playoffs. They missed by 1 game, but they really put up a good show. They even knocked Mouse out, and I think they will have a great season if they do not get torn apart and sold to every other bigger org. I mean, yeah, if their players don't get sold to every other bigger org. And then my next team that I think had a great event would be Monty. They also exceeded all expectations of mine. I expected them to be knocked out by stage 2, but then they qualified to stage 3, and I think these guys will get sold and torn apart. Unfortunately, there's already been rumors that Gizmi will be sold to Liquid, I believe, and some of their players, you know, will be moved to other bigger teams. But overall, I think they had a great event, and they were really nice to watch. And the next one would be G2. I think G2 has done really well since the departure of Nico and Monacy, and I think Hunter has done very well for the team, but he'll need a little bit more time in this pseudo rebuild that they're going through right now, because they've also lost Malbs, and I think, yeah, they'll just need some time. But they overall had a great event. They made it to the playoffs, and they really pushed team spirit to the limit, although it's a team spirit without our coach, but then it was still to the limit nonetheless. And Heavy God, man, he's one of the players that I'll be looking out at in future. Next team will be Bait. This is the legendary team created by Dendi, who is a former Dota 2 player from Team Na'Vi. He was the first TI champion, and right now the team that is made, full of Ukrainian kids, is they're creating their own story now, and I think they had a brilliant event. They are not fully tier 1 ready yet, I feel. If they do make it to the next major, I still don't think they'll make it to the playoffs. They'll still need some time because they're also young. But yeah, one of the biggest surprises for me was actually Tai Lu. I genuinely didn't expect them to go as deep as they did. They made it past stage 1. They actually beat Vision on the way through. I was actually expecting it the other way around, because in a previous event, Asia Champions League, leading up to this event in China, Vision Gaming did a lot better than Tai Lu, and I was expecting a lot more from Vision Gaming actually, but Tai Lu really surprised me, and they played quite well. I think they'll need a little bit more work, but overall, great event. Next team that I think had a great event would be Bet Boom. I think they had a great event despite the circumstances they were in, their roster issues and everything. The next team that really made me smile and I thought that great events would be Bet Boom. Bet Boom had some roster issues. Flamus came in as a stand-in for the umpteenth time, and despite the lack of practice, the lack of playing together, and all these roster issues, I think they still play very well to be in the knockouts. And Boomich obviously is a great leader in the CIS region, knows how to rally his troops, and I think they will probably be in the next major again and be a team to watch. It'd be nice to watch them. Next team would be Aurora. Aurora actually surprised me, considering where they were before this major. I was quite surprised that, they actually went so deep, eventually losing out to grand finalist Furia in the semi-finals, but then I think they played very well this major. They exceeded my expectations. I'm sure the Turkish scene would have said they expected more, but I think they had a great event. I do expect to see them again in the next major. I think they'll be in and out of playoffs this entire season leading up to PGL Singapore, and yeah, it's supposed to be fun to watch them. The last team that I'm going to put up here who had a great event that really entertained me was actually Thunder Down Under. Thunder Down Under has a couple of really great Aussie veterans in there, Dexter, Alistair, and Liaz. I think they really entertained me. I think they did way better than they should have, with the lack of play globally against a lot of other bigger tier 1 and tier 2 teams. I think they did very well. I honestly fully expect to see them in the next major. Moving on, teams who had a poor event before they require some evaluation, but just teams who had a poor event. First team I'm going to put up there would be Pain. I really expected much more from them. Historically, they've been very good, close to playoffs, or at least clearing stage 2, but they just didn't do well at all this major, and it was quite sad to watch. Next team I'm going to put up is M80. Similar to Pain, I expected so much more from them. They were 60% North American, and they did really well leading up to the event. It's just disappointing to watch. I expected so much more from them. Simple as that. Na'Vi, I think they had some bad luck, and tactics just didn't work out. But overall, they had a very poor event. Will they change out a player? Don't know. A lot of people want to see Frozen there because Frozen was actually rumored to have moved to Na'Vi last year, but it didn't go through. And I don't think it will go through this year because of VRS issues with FaZe. They're going to need to keep Frozen, and apparently Frozen has signed a new contract. I'm not sure. Please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but yeah, Na'Vi just needs to work on it. They had a poor event. Next team that I think had a poor event, Vision Gaming. Vision had a very good deep run in the Asia Champions League, only losing in the finals to JJ House leading up to this event. they were the better team in that event compared to Tai Lu, and I was fully expecting them to make it through to stage 2 or 3 at least, but it was a little bit disappointing that they got knocked out immediately in stage 1, also at the hands of Tai Lu. So a little disappointing. I think they'll bounce back somehow. I'm not too familiar with the Chinese scene, but I think they will bounce back and they will find their footing again. But yeah, overall poor event. Next team that I think had an overall poor event, Team Legacy. Okay, fine. I joked during my pick'ems that I expected them to be knocked out 0-3 in stage 3. No, they got knocked out 1-3. But overall, yeah, poor event. Leading up to this event, they actually beat Falcons, the eventual champions, in CAC 3-0 quite convincingly. Yes, granted, Falcons was in their little rebuild and reshuffle phase, but I expected a lot more, honestly. So yeah, overall poor event for Legacy. Sinners, yeah, they're a tier 2 team, man. Good tier 2 team, not a tier 1 team. I think they're just happy to be here, but then overall, very poor event. Now I'm going to move on to my final tier, which is teams that require some evaluation. These teams that really need to check themselves. First team I'm going to put up there is Mouse. What the fuck, man? What are these guys doing with their roster? I have no idea. They just need to figure it out. Next team I'm going to put up there is Astralis. I think they are already figuring it out. They've already booted their coach. Rumored Ash might come over. Ash is the former legendary coach of Gamer Legion. He's a very good analyst, very good coach, and he might be going over and helping with the rebuild there. But yeah, they just need to check themselves. I don't know what they're doing. FlyQuest. Bro, you guys need to stop farming the Australian scene. You guys need to go play more in Asia, in China, whatever small land you can. I think FlyQuest's problem was they were very good in the past and they're just living off of that past glory, and yeah, they need to do something about themselves, man. Simple as. Next team I'm going to put up there, Gaming Gladiators. No comment, already disbanded. Enough said. Sharks Gaming. What were they even doing in this major anyway? I have no idea. I suppose they did well in their region, whatever. Will they be in the next major? I don't think so. Next team that needs some evaluation, MIBR. This logo's not coming out right. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, rumored Insani is going to be moving away. Might move to Legacy, don't know. Or Pain or whatever, some other Brazilian team. But then, yeah, he's carrying dead weight. And MIBR really needs to change. Simple as that. NRG. Again, I'm sorry that the logo's crop didn't come out right. But this is NRG, believe me. This is just the R in them. North American team. Lost 16-0 to Big Land. Needs a lot of help. No further comment. And then next team I'm gonna put up there is Team Liquid. Yeah, whatever, man. These guys. Lol quit. I have no idea, man, what they're gonna do with this team. I think what they really need to do is fully disband, fully rebuild, go grind some lower tier 2 scene again. There's a lot of those events in America, B tier and C tier tournaments for them to go and grind out. Go grind those events in North America and the US and Canada, whatever, and get yourself back into contention later on. This team, I don't see it working out at all. Next team, Paravision, already in the process of evaluating. They've already kicked Nota and Belshanock. They've already replaced them, and I think if Dastan had his way, he would burn the entire team and restart with Jabe and Zwe. But because of VRS, I think that's why you can only kick a maximum of 2 players. So last team, Heroic. I don't know, I've got no comments, man. They have stuck by their roster since the last major, I believe. Not many changes, and yeah, I don't know, man. It's just Heroic. I think they're just happy to be here, and they'll need some change. Yeah, so that is my evaluation of this major and the teams and the performance in there. Whether you agree with my review and my criticism, please let me know in the comments below. And I'm really looking forward to the upcoming XSE Pro League 2026. It's going on in Guangzhou. It will be happening next week, and I'll be watching it. Paravision will be playing, Pet Boom will be playing, FaZe Clan will be playing, MIBR will be there. Sinners will be there, 9Z will be there, Monty, Big Clan, Bait will be there, Lin Vision, Tai Lu obviously because it's in China, But I'll be watching that because FaZe Clan will be playing. They're going to be playing Tyloo first. And yeah, face up.
Yeah, but that's the only thing I do. I have managed to cheerlead myself into 6 makers.
All right.
How is that possible?